Right, you lot, let's talk Villa again, and yet again in a game where something massive was on the line against Brighton and Hove Albion. We have put in an absolute stinker, an absolute disaster class, and I'm angry about this one for one main reason, in terms of the fact we've lost 1-0, so I'm recording this before the Liverpool-Tottenham game. It doesn't even matter what happens in that game now. We've given ourselves more of a hill to climb to get that fourth spot, in terms of the fact that if Spurs win both of their games in hand, they're only 1 point behind us, and we still have Liverpool to play in terms of our two games as well. I'm more angry about the fact that the Villa players, whenever something's on the line in a game like this, we don't get beaten and play well. We get beaten and we play badly. Our players don't look motivated. It looks like it's gone to their head. They're leggy, which I understand, but you're playing for Aston Villa. You have a chance to solidify Champions League football today. I could run a marathon and then get subbed on and sprint 90 minutes for Aston Villa out of pure passion alone. Something they seem to be lacking. The motivation seems to be lacking. We'll break it all down, do some player ratings and talk about the game. But when it matters again, Villa have done this. So I'll chuck the match stats up on the screen here. The only one that matters is, of course, the fact that we've lost 1-0 to Brighton, another mid-table team that we just can't seem to get past. And look at the shots. They've dominated us. We got played off the pitch. Again, the players look like they couldn't be asked. And if we throw up their recent results, let's not forget this is a Brighton team that haven't got a win in their last 6. They're barely scoring goals. They look defeated, deflated. Bournemouth played them off the pitch against a Villa team who now are doing pretty much the same. You look at our last sort of bunch of results, really, after the good result against Arsenal. You've got the loss to Olympiacos, the disappointing draw to Chelsea, this loss to Brighton now. I understand, look, it's another game where injuries have played a part. Morgan Rogers comes off after 27 minutes in a Premier League game. We're having to play Matty Cash at right mid for 70-odd minutes. It's never going to go well, is it? But that's beyond the point. The players look like they couldn't be asked. Douglas Luiz dropping another absolute stinker of a game in midfield. And they just don't look motivated. They don't look like they can be asked. How Torres couldn't pick a pass today, even if he wanted to. Diego Carlos probably gave away more throw-ins this one game than Aston Villa have the entire season. The amount he was just hoofing it out. Ollie Watkins had 3 or 4 opportunities to shoot and pass them up for some reason. Something was off, and I don't understand what it is. I have questioned the mentality of these Villa players in the past. Again, none of them really have been in this position in the Premier League pushing for Champions League spots, and I just wonder if it gets to their head in these massive games where it matters. But the thing I'm just annoyed about, I'm sat watching it and it was just coming. The Brighton goal was coming for so long. A tight VAR call, then a silly penalty that Konsa gave away. I see the Villa fans on Twitter, it was a penalty. He's got past him and Konsa's brought him down. Yes, we could have had a penalty in the first half with Morgan Rogers going down very, very early on in the game. But that is, again, not the point of this. The point of this is the Villa played bad. The players played bad. They're not running. There's no heart. There's no determination in these games where it matters. I think about these big games that you've had recently. Olympiacos, biggest game at Villa Park in donkeys of years. European semi-final, and we got played off the pitch. Didn't look like we could be arsed, really. Giving away sloppy goals, not playing the offside trap that Emery wants. Then we move on to Brighton, a game where we can secure Champions League football, and the players bottle it. They bottle it. They're trudging around. I was watching the game, 95th minute. If you can pick up the full game of this, if you can find it anywhere, watch the 95th to the 96th minute. We're 1-0 down, Champions League football on the line. A point would be so huge. 1 point, and even if Spurs win all their games in hand, we still have a good cushion over them. The psychological advantage of Villa getting a late goal on those Tottenham players having to go out and play against Liverpool. The 95th minute, the ball is at the feet of Robin Olsen. We don't get it into the Brighton half until 31 seconds past. 31 seconds, we're pinging the ball about in our own half. The remaining 30 seconds, we attempt 2 absolutely awful, sloppy long balls. The game's gone. It's in the hands of the Brighton keeper. The point is, yes, fair enough, you've attempted the long balls. 1, you've taken 30 seconds. And 2, we still have 6-7 players back wanting to ping it around the back. What are you playing at? In those types of situations, it should be Robin Olsen on near the halfway line, or one of the centre-backs, Pau Torres. Diego Carlos is in there, in the box, ready to win a header to flick down. All the players are flooding Brighton's 18-yard box. Instead, we're passive, we're slow, there's no urgency, and the players, I'll be honest, look like they can't be arsed half the time. When it comes to those crunch time situations, they go into a shell, and I'm sick of it. Now, we have to play Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Liverpool at Villa Park, incredibly tough game. We have a terrible track record against Liverpool in the last kind of sort of 2-3 seasons after we beat them 7-2. It's Klopp's last away game in the Premier League. Liverpool are going to be bang up for that. And then we have Crystal Palace, a team who are in incredible form under their new manager. Spurs, if they win their 2 games in hand, which is a tough ask, it's Liverpool, it's Manchester City, fair enough. I think they have Sheffield United and Burnley. They're probably going to get a goal difference of plus 15 in those 2 games, an easy 6 points. Villa have given themselves such an uphill battle now, all because in the big games they can't do it, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of that performance. That was pathetic, that performance. I said it to my missus, if we lose that game, I can come on here and I say, you know what, we played really well, and this is taking nothing away from Brighton, they played fantastically this game as well, but we just play so bad in these games when it matters. And I hope Unai Emery's getting into them. I don't want to hear any excuses in the post-match press conference of I thought we played really well, blah, 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 blah. There was no urgency to our game today. There was no patterns of play today. The players have let the Villa fans down in a crunch time again. Luckily for them, they have Olympiacos on Thursday to try and make it up to us and get to a European final. We all know how that's going to go. Whatever. Up the Villa. Let's hope we can just get Champions League by Spurs being crap.